Yo, what's up guys? Old School Dan here, and let me give you the video breakdown real quick because we're about to start in less than a minute. Number one, we're going to talk about what the rear deltoid is, then we're going to go over why you should train it. After that, I'm going to tell you exactly why your rear deltoids are not growing. After that, I'm going to give you the three old school methods. First of all, we have the Larry Scott method, then we have the Don Howorth method that he taught to Frank Zane when Frank Zane lost to Don Howorth, and I forgot what Mr. America it was, but anyways, after that, we're gonna go over to the old school Dan method, which is my method of growing my rear deltoids because I had a lot of trouble with them back then. Excuse me, I had a lot of trouble with them back then, and now my shoulders are probably my strongest point, my strongest muscle in my body, but it's also a weakness because it's like they're too overpowering. But anyways, let's get started. Alright, so where is the rear deltoid? It's basically the back muscle of your shoulder. Now, before I had a really, my rear deltoids were a weak point because I didn't train them. I didn't really prioritize them until I started reading some of Vince Gironda's books and symmetry, and then boom, I realized that I had to make a change. And then I started applying all these old school methods like the Larry Scott, the Don Howorth, the Vince Gironda, shit like that. And boom, I had some amazing shoulders by the end of, what is it, a couple months. And then I got tons of people asking me, how do you train your rear deltoids? How did you get them to look like that? And I was like, well, I don't know. Now I'm about to share with you how I did it. So this is cool. But first of all, Vince Gironda said that a physique can look great from the front, but if you turn him to the side and he doesn't have great rear deltoids, he's what you call a surfboard. Flat. Just flat. And you don't want to look like a surfboard. You want to be well-rounded. That's what a classic physique is. A well-rounded physique. Symmetry, lines, proportions, and just like 3D looking like. Alright, so now we're going to talk about why your rear deltoids aren't growing or why you're having trouble with them. Number one, you lack mind to muscle connection. Let me say that again. You lack mind to muscle connection. Don't worry, this is a common one. I had a lot of trouble contracting my rear deltoids. I didn't know how to do it. But the trick is it's in the elbows, and also you have to really apply that principle I taught. I think it was like 2 or 3 videos ago on how to strengthen your mind to muscle connection. If you haven't watched that yet, check that one out. But yeah, you lack mind to muscle connection. You don't know how to contract your rear deltoids. So if you're having trouble with that, check out my other video on how to build a stronger mind to muscle connection. So number two, you're neglecting the priority principle. You're not prioritizing your rear deltoids. Now, this is a Joe Weider principle that I learned. I also learned it from Arnold, but you're not prioritizing your rear deltoids. You're not putting them at the beginning of your workout, or you're not giving them enough sets or enough exercises. All right, so you see, when I was trying to get my rear deltoids to grow, I was doing at least 2 exercises for them in my shoulder routine. It was like I was doing dumbbell press, I was doing the lateral raises, then I was doing the rear delt flies, and then I would either do face pulls or the rear delt fly machine. So if you're not doing that, if you're not following the priority principle, then that's one of the reasons why your rear deltoid isn't growing. All right, so last one is you haven't done your own study. You haven't experimented enough with either heavyweight and lightweight. You see, your rear deltoids can respond to either low weight or high weight. You can do either 6 to 8 reps. That means you'd be using a heavy weight, or you can use a lighter weight and do 12 to 15 reps. I've experimented with both, and I found that both work for me. I just kind of alternate back and forth with them so that I keep my body guessing. But you can do your own study and figure out what works for you. It could either be heavyweight or lightweight. So you got to do your own homework and figure that out. But now we're going to move on to actually the methods of what I've used to grow my rear deltoids. Alright, so first up is the Larry Scott method. This is a pretty common one. You've seen Arnold do this one before. Well, it's not an exercise, it's a principle. This one's called down the rack. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. But what you do is that you start off with the heaviest weight you can handle for 8 reps, and you work down the rack in 5 to 10 increments. So example, say I can do 45 pounds for rear delt flies. I would move down after one set of 8 reps, move down to 40 pounds, then 35, 30, 25, and then down until I hit probably maybe like 15 pounds, and that cut that shit. Also, one more thing. After you do the 8 reps, you can also do what they call burns after. This is optional. So, say you're doing your first set, you do the down rack. You've done 8 reps. You can do 4 extra reps called burns. In the right picture, on top right there, on top, you got Larry Scott doing burns. He's doing it in sort of a dumbbell row fashion where he raises it up and with his elbows and he hits the real deltoid. The burns are basically like half reps. Now, they're not full reps, but they're semi reps, okay? They're just to get a little bit of that extra kick in that muscle. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that is the Larry Scott method. Now we're going to move on to the Don Howorth method that he taught to Frank Zane. All right, so a long time ago, this was about a year ago, I was just like you. I was looking for advice to grow my rear deltoids. And of course, I wanted to be old school because we all want it old school, right? All the advice we want it to be old school because we want to look more old school, right? Okay, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I wanted it to be old school. So this is some advice that was passed down from Don Howorth to Frank Zane. Now, this is one way to grow your rear deltoid, and man, this is a killer. This shit burns as hell. But what you do is that you do 12 to 15 reps of rear delt flies, then you superset that with wide grip chins, and that's it. You can do maybe 4 to 5 sets of that, and it gets a pretty nasty burn. Your shoulders get a nasty burn from that shit. So yeah, that's the Don Howorth method, and now we're gonna move on to the last and final method, which is the old school Dan method. All right, so the old school Dan trick. Now, when I was trying to get my rear deltoid to grow, I was taking a lot of advice from Vince Gironda. I was using a lot of his advice. So here's what I did. I was doing rear delt flies with about, it could have been 8 sets of 8 reps, supersetted with face pulls, 8 sets of 8 reps. It was either that, or I would also do rear delt flies, 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps, superset. Face pulls, 12 to 15 reps of 4 sets. Those are the two routines I would always fall back on. Those are the ones I would get a nasty pump from, and those are the ones where I felt I got the most growth from. But I'm not saying don't do the other ones. The other ones are great methods too. Definitely try all of them. You have to try all of them in order to figure out what works for you. All right, so I hope I stacked enough information for you to help you out in your journey in trying to get your rear deltoids to grow. But if you have any questions, comment below and ask me because I'll definitely respond because I want to help you out. One more thing. If you can help me out, if you have any requests on what you'd like to see in my videos, definitely leave a comment, DM me on Instagram, or just reach out to me and tell me what you want to see because I want to help you. I want to help you out even more. I want to help you achieve your physique even faster. And one of the ways to doing that is if you give me recommendations on what you want to see, because definitely whatever question you have, someone else will have. This is just like a classroom. That time when a teacher says, "All right, do you guys have any questions?" No one raises their hands, but it's like that one person that does raise their hand and they ask. That was everybody else's question they had. So yeah, I got a lot of good responses from the last video I made, which was the Serratus video. I got 2 people to comment, and I'm pretty sure I guess other people want to see that video too. So yeah, leave a request in the comment below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Like this video right now. Thanks for watching. This is Old School Dan checking out. Peace.